There isn't much in the way of news, and I've just realised that 3 pieces of news are DC news.
I thought we were done with this.
2 of which are directly connected to the Justice League.
I suppose we're going to have... It came out last week. You know.
I think he's got Stockholm Syndrome. That's what it is.
There's just nothing else on.
This guy's ready.
What was that?
I went backwards a little bit and I went to catch myself and I was like, I don't know why I need to. And then just punched the microphone.
And then it squeaked.
Wasn't that microphone ever do to you? Holy
know.
crap. Hello, geeks and geekettes, and welcome to another edition of the Geekstation podcast where we talk movies, TV shows, games, and all things geeky. I am Sinn, and as always, I am joined by my good friends David and Martin. Say hello, David and Martin.
Hello, David and Martin.
Hello, David and Martin.
There was a pause. He pointed at you and everything.
Did he? I couldn't see it. The mic stand was kind of there.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Jesus. Anyway, hello. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Sinn.
Nice of you to join us, David.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for
David was
inviting
late
me.
today. Let it be known.
Yes,
late.
he was.
I told you what time I was getting here.
You did not.
Yeah, I did.
You were like, I'm watching the final episode. The
Yeah.
final episode is 42 minutes long. I know, because I watched it this
52 minutes
morning.
long.
52,
54 minutes long, I think, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're all... every time I went to look at an episode time, they were always over 50 minutes.
Yeah, they were quite long episodes, I have to say. Yeah, but there's also 4 minutes of credits at the end of each one, because for some reason they go through the credits,
And then they go through
and then they go through the
Different
credits in German
languages.
and stuff. It's really
Yeah.
weird.
Oh, I
noticed that last night.
Mine automatically just goes...
Yeah,
into
no,
the next
I only
episode.
noticed it because I
Because
watched the
on
final
the final
episode and
episode,
it doesn't autoplay, and I was like watching it like, these are going on for a while. Is there going to be something at the end? And then it was just like, and then they switched to another language. And I wonder if all Netflix shows do that.
Yeah, probably.
We're never going to know, are we?
No, we're not,
never going to
no.
know.
I was going to play Daredevil at the end, and I was like, I wonder if it's just going to go on and auto-play Daredevil. And
No, it just advertised it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Daredevil season 1.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
we're talking about The Punisher, in case you didn't know. That's the subject of conversation this week. We have actually all watched it.
Yes.
And funnily
Yep.
enough, we all finished watching it this morning as well.
This afternoon for me, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, this afternoon for you,
13 lots of 50-minute episodes is
Yes.
quite
yeah.
a time
No,
investment.
it was. And I thought like giving us a week to watch it would be enough. But as it turned out, the fiance's still got the 2 episodes to watch, because I had to watch one last night after she went to bed and one this morning after she went to work. So,
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah, I watched like 2 episodes before I came over last week. Then I watched another couple during the week, and then on Thursday I think I watched like 4 or 5 episodes without Jess, and she didn't miss anything from those 4 or 5 episodes.
No, we'll
Obviously,
talk.
well, I mean, nothing that wasn't
No, I know.
significant to the
Yes.
story.
Yeah,
and
no, I
stuff,
know.
but I just kind of like filled her in as we were watching it.
Yeah.
There's it was an interesting one. I have to say, but we'll talk about it when we get to the main feature. We'll go through the news as always. There aren't many, as I said on the.
Hey, Sinn, how much DC news do we have this week?
We've got 3 bits of DC news. This
How many
week.
bits of those DC news are Justice League?
2. Well, technically 3, but yeah.
Oh my god.
I know. I can't
The
help
only news
myself.
this week is DC news.
He's getting his Marvel tattoos covered up with DC tattoos.
I was going through it, but this is
Have you still got your Justice League Super Friends bracelet?
I am still Batman.
Oh god.
I know. I really like it. But I didn't. Anyway.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, it is Stockholm. Yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, so James Wan, the director of Aquaman, obviously coming out next year, has confirmed via Twitter that they will not be using the same effect for talking underwater as they did in Justice League. Apparently, they're doing something else.
What, as in like the speech bubbles?
So the literal speech
Creating-
bubbles. That's
yeah,
right. Yeah. So
This kind of needs to fit in with lore really badly.
well, in the law, they will talk telepathically.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to do that, because I don't think they could do a whole film do that. But there may be perhaps that only a smaller portion of the film is actually set in Atlantis. Mm-hmm. So then they could probably get away with telepathic communication, or they're going to do something else.
It might also be like Star Wars as well. Where like they go
with
under,
the
with like the whole
subtitles.
like the whole with the subtitles.
Oh.
Why when I said Star Wars, you just went, oh yeah, subtitles. That's the only movie that has subtitles.
I don't know.
You're saying that like it isn't.
No, but I just mean like in the sense that
I thought you were going different languages, and then
No.
You were
No,
talking
when
like
they
we
go
were
in-
saying with the Gungans.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, possibly. But because the other thing is as well, because I'm sure I've seen. Like James Wan's released a couple of clips, some very short clips of like Aquaman swimming through water and stuff, and it doesn't look as murky and as dark and just dingy as it did in Justice League.
As Icelandic as it looked.
Well, I just think that maybe it's just going to be a lot brighter, and maybe they could actually then just get away with talking underwater. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, apparently it's not going to be the same effect. So, yeah, something to look forward to. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. No one's ever done. Have you? There hasn't been, other than Finding Nemo. Has there ever been a film exclusively set underwater?
Shark Tale.
Shark Tale, yeah.
Finding Nemo 2.
Finding Dory.
Jesus. You're now just going to name all
animated film with fish.
Yeah, exactly. But has there been a live action film that's been exclusive? I don't think there has there?
Free Willy.
Finding Nemo
That's
2.
not that's not a live action. And you've said that already.
Finding Threemo.
Anyway, that's my first bit of Justice League related
One down,
news.
2 to go. Let's go.
Strike one.
Henry Cavill is excited to play a happy, smiling Superman in the future. So this is even though there aren't any confirmed Man of Steel films, and Justice League 2 is way, way, way up in the air. He's happy to not be the brooding
He's
dark.
happy to be happy.
He's basically, yes.
Is he happy
Yeah.
to not have a mustache in the future as well?
Well, yeah, but that wasn't part of the conversation, but I'm sure he
Can I
is
take
very
a photo
happy.
of your face and see if I can digitally remove your mustache?
Yeah,
Just to
please
see if
do.
I can do a
but
better job than
But I
them.
was going to
I
say,
think-
it'd be pretty easy, really.
Yeah,
let's
I
be
mean,
honest.
mine isn't
If I just catch it in the right light, it won't be there anyway.
Exactly.
It's because I have fair hair.
But it's
okay.
but it's okay because he's got another 4 days of November, so
Oh,
yeah,
it's
that's true.
going
It's
to
gonna
grow
fill
out.
Yeah.
Those 4 days, you won't believe what's going to happen. It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, sure.
What's that cartoon character called? The sweet like Abtrix or something like that.
Asterix.
Asterix, yeah. I look like him. He has a mustache.
He does,
doesn't
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
yeah.
who else has a massive moustache, and this is something, a film I saw this week. This is kind of into what we've been watching, but I saw Orient Express, the Murder on the
Oh,
Orient
I did want
Express.
to watch
That's
that.
the strangest way I've ever heard anyone call that name that title.
I don't know why.
I saw the Orient Express. Oh fuck!
Yeah, good job, man. Good job.
Well
Good
done,
job.
David.
Yeah.
Shreks. Wait, what?
But the what's his face, the director of it. I can't. Are you all right over there? Jesus,
Bro,
David is choking.
I was leaning back in my chair, trying to take a drink, and then you couldn't talk, and then I nearly spat my drink everywhere.
talk.
David's choking on a monster.
Here I am.
Oh my gosh! I've dropped my. It's all the whole thing.
All right, let's focus. Get back at the point.
Come on,
I'm
guys.
just dropping stuff. I wanted to see. I can't remember the guy's name, like the director and lead star of the Orient Express.
The murder on.
The Murder on. He directed Kenneth Branagh. There we go. His mustache in that is epic.
Exceptional.
I mean, it is. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's fake. There's no way that he would have been able to grow that in time, unless. Well, I suppose he could have done. I suppose, but
That's the end of Sinn's mustache moment of the week.
yeah, there we go.
Tune in
Yeah.
next week. Discussions on Charlie
So yeah, so
Chaplin.
anyway, Henry Cavill's happy to play, and let's be honest, it was a much happier Superman
Yeah.
in
was
this
fun
than it
to
was
see.
in the last.
Do you reckon
two
it was a
films.
digitally imposed smile on his face?
I don't know.
His muscles are fake too.
Yeah.
I just want them to be.
So anyway, that's the second piece of. It was a really slow news week this week, I have to say. Like after Justice League, like it's all just gone.
I'm trying to think
After
of
Justice League, all you want to talk about is
It's
Justice League.
League.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the final piece of DC related news is that Josh Whedon.
Whedon.
Damn it! No, I
Christ.
swear
Not-
you change it
I
every
don't.
week.
I
It's
promise you I
Joss
don't.
Whedon.
It's whatever. Anyway, that guy is apparently still on to direct direct and write the Batgirl movie. So there were rumors.
Batgirl movie.
Batgirl.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
So there were rumors that after the Justice League hasn't performed very well, that it was apparently mainly down to his reshoots, which is probably not the case. But,
Well, I
you know,
mean, the
there's a-
reshoot started in July and the movie came out in November. Like,
yeah.
what more is he going to do with that?
Well, exactly.
Especially
and
when
they doubled the
one of the
budget
lead
as well, then.
actors couldn't shave his mustache.
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
Like, there's not really a hell of a lot he could do.
Yeah, and we don't know what the film was originally. Do you know there's people
Yeah.
that are petitioning to see the Zack Snyder
Snyder
cut. Yeah,
Snyder cut.
but there's I reckon there'll definitely be an extended cut of Justice League
Yeah.
with a extra half an hour whatever tacked on, because it was originally apparently the runtime was like close to 3 hours originally, so they cut quite a bit out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they had to so they can get more showings per day.
True.
you reckon that's why they did it?
Probably.
I think they did it just to make it snappier, quicker, and just get on and
was
done.
probably the
Might have been a bit of both, but
See, I mean, I've put a lot of thought over the last week about the Justice League, and it just felt like it was just a film. Like we've built it up so much that it's just like, let's just get it released, let's get it done, 2 hours, wham bam, you're done, forget about it. Like that's what it feels like at this point. Is it just like I think they didn't give up, but they were just they just felt like they couldn't win.
This more than it is, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, this is this. Done.
Now get off our backs and just go on about your lives. Yeah, but that's what happens when you advertise a film for 2 years. Well, me, maybe, yeah. But yeah, no. Apparently, he is still on to direct and write the Batgirl movie. So I think that would be good. He's done strong female characters in the past.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we'll see.
So that's all the DC news out the way. In Marvel-related news, Jude Law has been cast as the lead role alongside Brie Larson in the new Captain Marvel film. He'll be playing the original Captain Marvel, and the film has been confirmed, although we kind of already knew this, but that it would be set before Iron Man 1 and will be set partially in space.
Ooh,
so, yeah.
Fancy.
Jude Law,
yeah.
That's interesting.
He's also recently been cast as a young Dumbledore in the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
I read about that, yeah.
Hey, is it a Dumbledore?
Oh my...
Ha! Ha ha!
See, that would be...
Ha! Ha ha!
See, I'm not even going to... I'm not even going to attempt to point out why that's not funny. I don't know.
No, we're going to let the comments speak for that.
That's right, yeah.
You can hear them now.
You can hear the tumbleweeds rolling past. So yeah, there we go. That's as I say, that's pretty much it. There really wasn't much else in the news this week. I'm avoiding all spoilers for Star Trek. I've seen loads of Star Wars related stuff, like Andy Serkis reveals stuff about Snoke and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, I'm just not clicking on it. I just don't want anything. I just don't want that film ruined in any way.
I don't want to know any more than I already know.
It's going to be amazing, but I just don't want it to be ruined. So, when we were briefly talking before we started recording as well, that Battlefront 2 obviously is out. We were talking about the loot boxes last week. I did read an article that Disney had. They were unhappy with the way that it had been dealt with and everything like that. So
yeah, I mean, they probably gave all that stuff the go ahead anyway, though, didn't they? They would have been involved at every point.
Well, maybe, but I mean, EA have got the license. They've got the license for Star Wars games for another 5 years because they had it for 10. And I think maybe they just let them get on with their own thing to a certain extent.
I think they have to sort of approve what they're going to be creatively doing. They probably were like, we're doing a Battlefront, and they were like, great, do that. And then they were like, we're going to do this with, loot boxes. And they're probably... I don't think they would have been like, oh, I'm really concerned for our consumers.
No. Oh, there was one thing, actually. So we were talking about whether the loot boxes were gambling last week. So,
isn't it somewhere in Berlin? Declared that it is gambling or
Germany...
something?
No, the Belgian government?
Belgium.
Yeah, that's Belgium and Norway as well, I think, have basically declared it's gambling. But the UK cannot declare them as gambling. And the reason for it was because under UK law, gambling is, you can only classify something as gambling when you get to cash out at the end of it. So you're gambling with something and then you cash out for money. Mm-hmm. Whereas with loot boxes, you can't sell your things for cash.
Arguably worse than cashing out.
Well, no, but this is it. But because of that, the Gambling Commission cannot class loot boxes in games under UK law as gambling. Yeah. Which I just find fascinating. I think that's just really interesting. And it just means that
having our own stupid laws again that are just a bit different for whatever reason and whatever fucking loophole.
But it but it's like, so
all lobbyists that decide on that pressure people to do that kind of thing, though.
You just talk your I'm
Which way do you want it to go?
Doing it. No, I just want it to do, hang on, just like
just
that.
Yep. Hello.
Oh, there you go. That's much better. Now you actually sound like...
It was better the other way.
Yeah, I know. He was just sounding a bit...
Hear me.
Yeah, he was just sounding a bit quiet.
That joke, dude. It's just fucking old.
Maybe one day you'll listen
old,
to it.
like you.
Yeah, Sin, you're old.
I was going to say about Sin, but I didn't want to...
What is... Just... anyway... So the thing with loot boxes is there's loads of speculation online as to whether they're sticking around or whether they're staying or whatever, but at least in this country... my guess would be that what they will do is the games companies are still going to be doing them, and it's just going to be in some countries they'll have to either turn them off or just offer them for free, whereas in this country and maybe probably America as well, you'll just still be able to buy them and still be able to gamble your money, and kids will get hold of their parents' credit cards, and it's a joke.
I think in other countries it will probably be okay, you pay this amount for this thing rather than buying a loot box. and it would be just hike the price up even higher because they depend on the random chance of you not getting.
The thing is, what I don't. I mean, I don't know the I mean, I suppose I know the basic psychology about that. It's a loot box. It is, it's like that moment of oh, look what I've won.
Endorphins.
But why don't they just put everything that's in the loot boxes on a store somewhere? Because people are still going to buy them.
Yeah.
But I mean, people will still buy that awesome, cool sniper rifle or whatever it is. Or
some games have that sort of stuff. Like Overwatch, I know has it, where you can just sort of spend your coins on an individual item.
Yeah, but you can't buy coins. You can only get the coins from those. You get them from the loot boxes.
Yeah. Oh, you get that as well. Yeah.
So it's yeah.
But no, it's fucked.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, you guys got any news to add? Because I mean, as I say, there's
that stuff about net neutrality was
the FCC is trying to repeal it.
Yeah,
but it's still got to go to court, and then the court's got to decide at that point if it's actually going to be repealed or not.
This is, I mean, it's US law, but it would affect us, right?
Well, yeah, because it can set a precedent as well.
Yeah. No.
Well, I mean, also, how many websites do you access that are in the States?
Yeah, but they're not allowed to. With other people's stuff though.
Yeah, but they're going to. But those sites themselves will be throttled, so therefore, ergo, it will have a knock-on effect with us.
Yeah. Well, it only really depends on where the server's based.
Well, yes, but we will still notice the effects of it for sure.
I mean, I'm not doubting that.
And if a country like America does that, then it's only a matter of time until we do that. And then, I mean, Europe is at Portugal. They've already got it in Portugal. Where they're setting it up to launch.
Yeah.
So you're going to end up buying packages for email and Facebook, and then packages for streaming and Facebook. And
especially on
okay. Google Fiber. I think if it does actually get repealed, Google Fiber will literally roll out everywhere and it'll be fine.
And
because if Google Fiber is everywhere, no one's going to go with Comcast or Verizon or AT&T, because. Whilst technically they're not really allowed to monopolize, they wouldn't be monopolizing because there's still other people providing stuff, and it just depends on people want to move on it.
Yeah.
But Google Fiber's in San Antonio, so I'm okay.
Yeah, I know. You're getting like 300 gig connection.
It's more than that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but the thing is, the problem, so I read this really interesting article about high-speed Google, particularly Google Fiber, is that while you have that speed, there are very few sites that can support that. So, for example, Steam... you can still only download as fast as the Steam servers will allow.
Obviously, yeah.
So you can have I've got, a gigabyte,
but
whatever.
It's almost like future-proofing, though.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure, absolutely, yeah.
Or does that mean that you can download multiple different things within...
Yeah, I mean, your bandwidth will be wider, so you can be watching something and uploading and downloading and whatever, for sure.
That's cool.
But you're still not going to download something... You can only download something as fast as the server will allow.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm still jealous, obviously. Don't get me wrong.
Don't take that away.
I've still got a 100 meg connection wired through a 2G wired connection and all sorts of, I don't know.
Mine's like 154 at home.
At home? Yeah, well, see,
that's wireless as well.
So I had the 200. Yeah, God, what are you doing? Just making noise.
Sorry, I slammed it down and I didn't mean it.
You did.
Sorry.
I downgraded from the 200 to the 100 because it's just me and I'm the only one that's using the internet here. When I'm in a house of 5 previously, or 7, then we needed like faster connection. But, I'm happy. I get like 70 in this room, so that's all right for me. That's enough. Yeah. So anyway, so there we go. So that was the news. Da-da-da-da. That's the news.
That was the worst jingle yet. Shortest and worst. Da-da-da-da.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about The Punisher. So, this is we've all watched it, obviously.
Yep.
This is now the what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th Marvel series.
Oh, okay. Right. I wonder where you're going with the counting.
Yeah, two seasons of Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage. Oh no, 6th. Oh, 7th if you include Defenders.
Defenders, yeah.
So, it was released last Sunday. Last Friday.
17th.
17th. Thank you. Yeah, a week ago on Friday. And stars John Berth. How do you pronounce his name?
Bernthal.
Bernthal. There you go. As
David, help us out.
Help us out here, dude.
Bernthal.
There you go. Thank you.
Okay.
As the Punisher. 13 episodes. As we were speaking earlier on, the running time there, apparently, according to this anyway, they're 49 to 58 minutes each long. Made in conjunction, obviously, Netflix and Marvel
ABC?
Studios and ABC as well, yeah. So we're just going to go straight up at the top. Spoilers. I'm saying that right now.
Martin's in the room, so spoilers.
If you haven't seen it, definitely go and watch it before you listen to it, because we're just going to be spoiling the hell out of this, and we can't do a non-spoiler spoilers. We've tried, and Martin just lets us down.
Keep it in my pants.
You just can't keep it in your pants. So, what did you guys think?
I really enjoyed it.
Really?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was longer than not longer, but it was slower than I was expecting it to be. But definitely. Then I appreciated it that it was slower, because I don't think I could have sat through 13 episodes of just gunslinging the entire time.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Well, I mean, it would have been very hard to make 13 episodes of gunslinging fresh as well.
Yeah,
and make it sort of
I thought the last 4 episodes were top quality, and I thought the rest of them were just a bit pants, if I'm honest. I didn't not enjoy it, but I just thought there was for something that is, I don't know, I was just expecting more from it, rather than it's a very deep show, and it touches on a load of issues, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
But compared to the other Netflix shows, there's very little actually happens, and there's whole episodes where they just 2 people talking.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be slightly different, because going on like Daredevil, for example, he can go out and he can kick people, he can fight people and stuff, and you can kind of keep that in every episode.
Yeah,
because he's not just straight up killing them.
Yeah,
so it can keep it a little bit fresh and kind of break it up a bit. But I imagine it would drag a bit if if he was to encounter someone and just shoot him in the head.
Sure, that's it. I don't know. I just kind of feel a bit like meh about it, really. Like I was the first few episodes, the first couple I thought were all right. I love the way that it opens with like he's finishing his hunting of the guys that killed his family and stuff, and he's wearing the Punisher outfit, but then he burns the Punisher top, and then like effectively just retires, type of thing.
Yeah.
Yep. And then he starts working in construction.
Yeah. And I just like, and I don't know, but the first 2 episodes were good, and then it just really dipped for me, and that's when I really struggled. And I think if I wasn't watching it for this exact thing that we're talking about now, I probably wouldn't have finished watching it. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was the weakest out of all of them, all the Marvel shows.
Yeah, I mean, as I was saying earlier, I watched about 4 or 5 episodes without Jess, and like I said, she didn't miss anything from the story. I filled her in with a couple of things, because she started watching it again the episode after you find out that Russo is working with Agent Orange.
Yeah.
Like literally the episode after that. So that was the only main thing that she missed. But I kind of saw that coming anyway.
I was still a bit of a shock, actually. I have to say, I remember like when because he gets into the car, doesn't he? And then you're like, the next one, you're like, you bastard!
I thought that was a really great moment, because I was like, look, Russo is crooked. There's obviously the flags are everywhere about this, like Lieberman's questioning it and stuff. But when he actually turns and he's there, and you're like, "This is confirmed," I thought that was a really, really good moment.
Yeah, I mean, I thought all the characters in it were good.
The acting in it was some of the best acting in a Marvel show. In a Marvel show,
that's one of the things that stuck out to me. Is like some of the others, like I've felt in the past watching them, I've been put off watching them, is because they feel a bit like amateur.
Yeah, I
feel like this isn't quite to the standard that I would prefer the acting and some of the production, but for this, like. Throughout, I was like, I buy this. This is
like
really
even
good.
Karen, her acting improved so much since the first series of Daredevil.
But that's what I think, but they actually gave her character something like this.
A bit of substance.
Well, that's what I mean. Like those episodes where no one fires a gun, you kind of think you're. I suppose. Well, at least I was thinking. Well, it's a Punisher TV show. It's a Marvel show. It should be all-out action. But they've gone completely the other way, and they've gone, well, actually, no, let's talk about the motivations of these characters. Why does he want to walk around shooting people? What's led him to there? And then also the lives of the people that are then affected because of that. And that's just a really interesting take on like where to go and where to take it. And it for me, anyway, as I say, it just took me out of my comfort zone, because it was like, that's just not what I was expecting. And it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, especially seeing there's like barely any promos or like any significant trailers that showed any footage from the program. It was definitely gave you like a different position on what to expect from it, because you knew nothing about it going in. You just assumed it would be, a bit more all-out action, a lot of gunslinging, maybe even a minigun here and there, but it wasn't, especially for the first 7 episodes.
I think the first episode set the mood up pretty well. Like a lot of it was going into some of those issues, and then there was the bit at the end with the sledgehammer and all that. And
I think that was
this stuff is still really going to happen.
Yeah,
but this is where the focus is going to be.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it was good to have that in the first episode, and it kind of almost reminded you and showed you what he is capable of.
Yeah,
yes.
And kind of because they showed that straight away, then didn't show it again for a few episodes. It kind of make you start thinking when's it going to happen? What's going to happen? And it kind of keeps you watching it to an extent.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not just a straight up tease at the beginning and then they don't do anything for a long time, because there is still stuff that happens in between.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
But it was slower than I was expecting.
Yeah.
But I still really enjoyed it though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel let's get into it. So obviously the story is at the beginning of the series. He's, as I say, he completes his revenge.
I didn't sort of check out what happened in terms of the Daredevil stuff. So is it all that revenge is essentially in the Daredevil?
Yeah, so basically, in Daredevil season 2, which is where he's introduced, you discover that his family was killed. Originally, what he thought was just 2 warring gangs on a drug deal that goes wrong, basically, and his family get caught in the crossfire at the playground where
that carousel thing.
That's right. Yeah. And then throughout Daredevil season 2, it's discovered that actually the military were basically smuggling heroin out of Kandahar, out of Afghanistan, and Frank. I can't remember exactly how Frank was involved, but it was his unit and his commander. And then it turned out that they ordered the hit on Frank, but they set it up to make it look as though it was these 2 warring drug dealers. And then he then goes and kills General Colonel Schoonover. That's it, yeah. And that's basically how his story arc ends at Daredevil season 2. And then Daredevil season 2 actually ends with the Hand attacking a hospital, and then he saves Daredevil wearing the shirt. It's a really cool moment where he just comes out, because Daredevil's basically going to be beaten, but going to be killed. He's completely surrounded by Hand soldiers, and they're just going to basically kill him, and then suddenly they all just start getting shot and being dropped, and he's just on the rooftop, and he kind of goes, "I'm here for you, don't worry." It's really cool. It's a nice moment.
Nice.
But then obviously this one, I suppose, they reveal, because it was quite interesting, because obviously at the end of Daredevil season 2, you think that the story is over. You think he's got his revenge on the general's dead, he's going on with his life, and then obviously they kind of drag that string a little bit more and go, well, actually, no, there was more to it than that, which isn't necessarily
there's a bunch of little pawns that are all kind of involved in it, which he was picking up.
I would have liked, and I understand that they're talking about the death of his family, and that's obviously a seriously strong motivation for the Punisher character, just in general, from the comics and everything. But I would have liked them to have looked at a different storyline, because this was all about still him getting revenge for his family's death. Which you kind of saw in Daredevil season 2. Obviously, you could have just left it there and done something else. But I mean, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Do you see the full impact of how that affects him as a character?
Well, it's what motivates him,
but the thing is, if that had been the case, that was his entire, because that's obviously his main story arc is revenge for his family. Would that have really been satisfying to diehard Punisher fans? That it was just in 4 or 5 episodes of another superheroes TV show. I don't think that really would have been.
No, that's true.
That would have been that wouldn't have been fair to them.
No, that's true. Yeah, I mean, as I say, it was all right. Going down that route, it was just when I realised that's what they were doing, it just felt like a bit of an odd choice. But once they settled into the story, it was all right. It was just again, the show was just full of surprises for me, really, just in terms of that tone. But as we say,
it's really set it up as well moving forward to have some of those other motivations coming in.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Now it's all set up.
Well, now literally they can go anywhere they want. Yeah. He's effectively a free man, although Frank Castle's still wanted, but he can commit crimes now because his DNA's out of the database and stuff, which I thought was quite a nice little kind of thing to do. And so now they can literally just go anywhere.
Yeah, I think
they can take him.
they've really built it up. As in Russo is, I really don't know much about the Punisher comics or anything. But
No,
Russo is going to become Jigsaw, basically.
Jigsaw. Is he a character? Is he? Okay, right.
I'm fairly certain that's probably what's going to happen.
That was brutal.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
I was watching it with Holly, and
fight.
she is pretty squeamish.
Yeah.
She was like, "Yeah, I'll watch the remaining 3 episodes with me." And
The remaining 3.
yeah, literally the last 3, and I had to explain the entire thing, and I was like, "This guy's a spook. This guy's he's in his unit." Blah blah blah.
No, but it's just like you said, she's fairly squeamish, and like the remaining 3 episodes were like.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
So Georgie's going to watch the final 2 episodes, the 3 or 2 episodes. On her own, and she's quite squeamish as well. And actually, the show's been quite tame.
God. Yeah.
And there's been a couple of broken arms and stuff like that. But like, there's bits in Daredevil where she's gone, like this, and that's
Thing is,
nothing compared to.
I'm not squeamish at all, right? I'll watch anything. Like it doesn't really bother me.
fine,
but
yeah.
even at some points, I was like, oh Jesus,
The mirror,
that was,
the mirror. Was
yeah,
just
the
a bit
mirror
like-
when he's just like
No,
screwing
I
his
tell you what got
face all the way
me. See,
down.
I don't mind. Like when I'm watching stuff, like I understand that it's TV violence or it's film violence. So I don't. There's not a lot that can get me. The one thing in every single medium that always gets
Spiders.
Eyes.
me, no, is eyes.
I'll bet.
and people having their eyes poked out, and oh my gosh! And the thing with this is I was expecting it to cut away, and it didn't.
No.
It didn't. Nope.
Oh my gosh! I mean, that was brutal.
That was
like
such a great
and
fucking
the
bit.
way that he stabs him as
It's
well.
proper
I
like
mean,
prison shivving stuff. That was.
Yeah.
I think the makeup they use, or the effects for blood and stuff in this show were like top notch.
Oh no, for sure. The effects
Dirty,
were really
bloody.
very good.
It was just like that. That's what it would look like to my mind. Anyway.
Yeah, for sure. So
Especially that scene is fucking.
So we see Frank at the beginning, and he finishes his revenge, and then he gives up, and he basically retires to a life of monotony.
hitting walls with hammers.
Yeah, he's just living his life. He's obviously a broken man. He thought that maybe revenge would save him, but it didn't. It just, probably drove him deeper and darker into that hole. And then he starts, exposing himself to the world, basically, and it spirals out of control from there. So the first, obviously, thing that we see is obviously with his friend from the construction site. And his Chavez. I don't think that wasn't his name, was it?
Chavez. It's Ronnie Chavez.
Ronnie, that's it.
Ronnie
yeah.
Chavez.
And I like it when he asks them, where did you go? Which thing? And he just goes and takes out all the witnesses.
Yeah.
Just kills just everyone. Lights go out. There are lots of gunshots, and then
They all killed each other though as well.
Yeah,
That's so cool. Very good moment.
So favourite moments from the show? You have like
those. I think
episodes.
I think the bit where because it was a good moment. I thought it was a good period in the series for me, especially where it ended. The episode where Russo looks over and then there's Agent Orange. The next one after that, when he's got the sniper on his head, and that's the finale.
that
the
was
episode.
fucking
It
incredible.
just hits the
when
mirror,
he's gonna shoot
the
the
window,
window, yeah.
and you're like, oh shit, no, that's bulletproof.
Yeah.
And then it's just like kind
well,
of.
you see it on his face as well,
hands
don't you?
back.
He's like,
and the lights come up, and I was just like sat in my living room, like, what the fuck? Audibly to myself. Like,
Yeah.
That was fucking cool.
That was good.
Good
Yeah,
moment.
that was good.
Really good
Yeah.
moment.
My favourite episode was the one where the with the senator in the hotel room, and you see it from different perspectives.
Oh, that was really
and
cool.
And the story is told like a bit in reverse.
When
and
it kind of
things
does the
like,
different angles, especially like when it's coming in the lobby with the
Yeah.
Lewis guy and
To be
Madani
fair,
and
like
that.
every scene with Lewis in it was really good because his acting was
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah,
those
I really hated him.
Really?
Yeah.
I really hated him.
Oh, I thought
Not
he was
as in
amazing.
his performance, but like I believed it because I hated his character.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, it
yeah.
was
I
that.
was just like, this
Well, the
guy's
thing
an
is, I
asshole.
felt for him though, obviously, because he's just someone suffering with like severe PTSD.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
they really hammered that home.
Yeah.
Which is,
No, that's the thing. Like, again, it's just, the themes that they look at in this show it's really good because I mean you're thinking, okay, the Punisher. You're thinking if they're going to do PTSD, they're probably going to look at it from Frank's point of view, but then they just bring in this random character who may well be from the comics. I mean, I don't know, or loosely based on a character maybe.
Yeah.
And he's got a really interesting arc from
Yeah.
when you first see him.
Yeah.
And then he's just, digging himself foxholes and, like almost shooting his dad and stuff
His
like that.
dad was a really good character as well, though.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Felt him so
good
bad.
actor as well.
Yeah.
He's in a few other TV shows and stuff, which I really like him. And then just like, and then the leap that he takes when he kills his buddy.
When he finds out that the guy that he was spending a lot of time with has never actually been to war, and he was just making up stories.
Yeah.
And then he killed him, and then shanked him a bunch.
Then, you could see that turn in the character when he goes home to his father, and you can see just.
He really elevated though, didn't he? He went from stabbing one person to killing 14.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
with a bomb. 3 nail bombs. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. And it would the whole, as I say, the whole arc was really good. That episode was just a really good. I mean, it was just everything about it was, I just felt was, and I loved like the fact that the senator like lied about what happened, like grabbed a gun.
I'm gonna go get help.
Yeah,
you know what? That character though, I didn't like how they showed that. Especially from the first moment they put him in there on a radio show. Like they obviously one of the themes they want to go into is like gun control. Here.
Well,
and then they go like to be honest, they didn't represent that side of the argument very well. Especially with his character who's supposed to be like this pro gun control, and they represent him as like this, I don't know, politically motivated, corporately interested guy who's like, I don't know.
See,
against guns,
it's funny.
I really didn't,
because when that first episode when they're doing the radio show, I was like, oh, okay. I actually thought they were representing gun control quite well.
I thought that, and then he's like, oh, you're barking up the wrong tree when Karen's talking, and then she's like, you've ever needed a gun? And it's like, oh,
I thought I actually thought all of that was good, and then I was like, oh, I think they're actually gonna for the first time actually present a good, argument, counter argument to gun control in a show that's all about guns and killing people. And I thought that was really good. But then they just lost it when Russo, when they were having the chat, and he was like, I've never needed armed, guards before. And he's like, well, you'll need it if someone tries to shoot you and stuff. And then they shake hands and you see like a little twinkle in his eye and you're like, oh, okay. So they've just sold that character out then straight up.
I think they really failed to
like all his integrity was just instantly lost.
Yeah, but I don't think they really. I don't think their intention was to use him to get across a point that gun control needs to be improved. I think they were just putting this character in there because he needed there needed to be motivation for the other characters, and it gave a good little because obviously Lewis saw him as like the opposition as well, so he wanted to take him out because he was going against the Second Amendment and everything like that. So that's the whole point of that character. It wasn't to kind of put across a point of
I think
gun control.
That argument was there just simply because of the presence of that character and those motivations, though, and I just think they handled that badly. I mean, in the context of the show, yes, it's hard to get in that. Maybe I think they could have done it better. I mean, given the context of the show and what it's all about, as you say, like that's very hard to get that argument in there.
Yeah, but it would have. Imagine if they'd put across like a significant point about gun control, and then like in the middle of a Punisher TV show, what are we going to be talking about now? At this point, we're going to be like, why the fuck are they putting like politics into a TV show?
Yeah, but that's what they did though with the radio show episodes. Like that's the thing. Like I understand where you're coming from, but they did do that. They had an entire debate on gun control the context of...
We also only saw like snippets of parts of conversations and stuff, so it wasn't like... they're not trying to put across a point.
I really think they were. I think the writer was very much on the other side of the fence with that argument.
But it's
a TV show about a superhero or, a Marvel character, sure.
Vigilante.
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 But I feel like even if you try and address something in the most minor way, you are bringing up that point, and there were points throughout that, especially with the conversation with Russo and that stuff, where it was like, basically the argument was, have you ever needed a gun? Yep, you need a gun when you're going to die, because that's when a gun's going to save your life, and it's like, I don't know.
So yeah, that was that. I mean, that was my favorite episode anyway. I just like the action. I like the way that it told from the different points of view. It was showing like Frank's improvisational skills, which was good. There was a cool moment where like Lewis went into the lift with the bomb with Karen, and then like as soon as the lift doors closed, the Anvil agents just opened up, and he like kind of
rolled over a
corpse, and just started
rolling.
That was awesome.
That was cool.
Lots of people get shot in the head in this and don't die. Like,
Madani gets shot.
Madani gets shot in the
Russo
head.
gets shot in the cheek.
Yeah, and then Frank just, Russo misses the shot, and he's got like the scar, which I just thought was like, okay, sure.
Yeah, it always annoys me when people are like built up to be like marksmen and stuff, and they miss shots from just down a corridor and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that really frustrates me.
Of Madani,
which is why I really love
fucking
like John Wick as well, because he doesn't miss when he's shooting people a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like unless they're like literally running all over.
There's a reason for
like he kills them most of the time, and it's really like methodical. It's just But I mean, they didn't. They only happened like you said a handful of times, and it also showed that each of the characters do have a significant ability with guns and stuff.
Yeah,
especially when he goes to shoot him in the head from across the field and then hits the glass.
The one thing that did the one thing that did not get to me a little bit, and I suppose it was completely unavoidable in a show like this, but Frank Castle is not a superhuman in any way. He's just a man, and he gets shot a lot. He gets stabbed a lot. There's bits that he pulls out,
and then he does
stuff
the
that
final
pulls
fight
out.
afterwards.
Yeah, like he recovers really quickly in this. Like sometimes it's overnight, sometimes it's a couple of days, but it's still like
he's never.
They don't really go into detail on how long things have been as well.
That's true. Because
he goes into like septic shock. And that, after a few days of having the arrow in him, and I don't know why Micro didn't think, oh shit, there's an arrow in him. Should I take that out? How do I take that out? I'm gonna leave him for a couple of days. I'm just gonna give him like fluids and some antibiotics.
Yeah.
If he doesn't recover, I don't know. I'll call Curtis. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was the right thing to do, but like his reasoning for it.
But I
was
mean,
just
like,
what are you doing?
But there's his right arm. He gets this. That's where he gets shot with the arrow. So the arrow gets pulled through.
Yeah.
He gets the bit of in the hotel bit. He gets the stuff.
Yeah, the part of the door
logged in there.
Yeah, the metal.
And then he manages to pull himself up out of the lift and stuff.
I thought that was a really, really brutal moment. I was just thinking about that arm. Like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
And yet he still manages, and then he gets stabbed a lot and he still manages to then have the fight.
Yeah, he gets stabbed on like the top right and top left shoulder as well.
Every gunfight, he gets shot at least once.
He will get hurt. Every single.
He got shot in the leg, put a tourniquet on it.
Yeah,
and he was fine.
That's like at the beginning of the fight as well. Like,
he like hobbles up to the carousel, and that's like the only real mention of that injury.
I mean, and also like just the way that Agent Orange beats his face, and then like
his lung,
and then
all he's got is a bleeding nose and a broken lip.
Well, no, but it's like that episode where they take him to Madani's parents' house, and like he's there, and he's got a collapsed lung and a broken rib and all of that, and then literally the next scene is he's all cleared up and he's got a few bruises on his face, and he's walking out.
Yeah, well, the thing is, when Curtis got beaten with his own foot, like his face was a mess.
I think he was still in the bit where Russo goes to his apartment. He's still beaten up.
Yeah. So that's the only thing
that's the only gripe that I have is that when obviously they don't want to like make the main character like towards the end of the series just be a giant beaten up balloon.
And
I understand why that, but just make him attack other parts of his body then if you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Because
or just have him get some,
or just not get shot.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been fine if if it had just been the case that when he was torturing him, he just put nails in his arm or something, because that's something you can easily cover up.
Yeah.
If you stand there for 25 minutes punching someone in the face,
exactly,
there's not going to be anything left of the face.
Yeah. And he had all of his teeth. He spat out one tooth.
One tooth. And the guy is anyway. Yeah, I don't know. So what was your favourite bit? Did you have a bit that
I don't know really. I mean, I really liked every scene with Lewis in it. I've got to admit that was he was on another TV program with James Franco. It was about, I think it was called 1964 or something like that.
No, 11 something 62.
Numbers,
it was about the JFK.
Yeah, he played Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yes.
Yeah, he was really good in that.
Very good. Yeah.
But I really loved everything with him, and I think he is probably gonna do incredible things in Hollywood in the following years. But I don't know, favorite scene. I mean, I really enjoyed the last fight, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
it was good. And also, brutal. My other favorite part was when Micro had to type in the code a couple of times.
Oh,
and he did the same thing every single time. Obviously, he picked up the pen, used the pen to type with.
Yeah.
So obviously that didn't seem out of place.
Fine for him to have the pen.
Yeah, and then the last time he does it, It's a needle.
Yeah.
Stabs him in the arm, passes out.
Yeah,
So,
that was good.
His character was so cool. I
Yeah,
think
he was
Micro
really cool.
was
And,
really
and the
good.
thing I liked about his character was when I first met him, I really didn't like him.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
he was annoying. I thought he was a bit whingy and a bit moany.
Yeah.
But then as it goes on, I really learned to love the character.
I honestly thought when you first met him, obviously the fact that when he was on top of the cafe,
Yes.
and I thought he was probably just going to be like a really cocky computer nerd.
Yeah.
Like I thought that's how they're going to portray Micro, but they didn't. I thought they did
Yeah.
brilliantly, and also his family as well. Like
Yeah.
his kid, the Zach, the boy, when Frank confronts him with the knife,
Yeah.
and like you think that he's just he, like the kid's just a dickhead bully. And then he just breaks down. He's like, I just don't have any friends. Like,
Yeah.
He's like, I
Yeah.
got this to protect myself because I'm afraid that someone's going to try and attack me
Yeah.
because of what my dad did.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The family wasn't annoying.
No.
They weren't.
Yeah.
They
Not a
weren't
single
just,
one of them.
it wasn't like when you sometimes there's some shows and they comes on, the family come on. You're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I've got a
This
family
moaning
scene.
Like
again.
or a family
the
episode.
boy at the
or-
beginning, like it did seem like it was going to be the case. He was just going to be like a broody little shithead teenager, like that because his dad ran away. Well, dad
Yeah.
died. He was just going to be a bully. And then when it turned it around at that point, I don't know. I was just like, that's a really really interesting way to do it. And the fact that Frank had to be there for him when his dad was just watching on camera as well.
Yeah.
And then
And also because I called it almost immediately. I was like, something's going to happen between Frank and his wife.
her. Yeah,
like
no
something
doubt.
was going to happen. But when it actually happened and they kissed and then he went home, the way that character dealt with it was just perfect.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
instead of, because I was genuinely expecting that to happen and then for him to just get really angry with Frank,
And do maybe, like,
they'll
betray
have
him or something.
yeah, and have a little fight or something like that. And then, but no, it wasn't at all. He was he just like, well, it was like
what
he
he
was
was saying,
drinking,
he was like-
and then he
Yeah,
was
he
like,
was-
"Is this how you're going to deal with it? Looks like it." Or yep.
I think it was really good. Like the lines where he's like, "Oh yeah, well,
hung like a moose.
No, but when he was like, "Oh no, what
You're
am
an
I
ass man?
expecting her to
Oh,
do?"
okay.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
she's-
Yeah, that's what I mean.
She's an attractive
Instead of-
woman. You're a good-looking
Yeah.
guy or whatever.
Instead
Yeah.
of just instead of doing the classic, what you would expect that character
Yeah.
to do, because that's what I mean. It's just full of surprises. Like
Yeah.
the characters were really well written, really well fleshed out.
You know who else I liked?
Hmm.
Sam Stein.
Sam Stein.
Yeah,
Sam
man.
Stein.
That was
Yeah.
another good scene as well.
When he died, I was
yeah.
like, "Oh, you didn't need to die yet, though."
Yeah, he reminds me of I can't remember the actor's name now. Do you guys ever watch New Girl?
No.
Yes, he looks like
Yeah.
Nick.
Yeah.
That's who it fucking looks like. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
he was in Jurassic World.
Right.
Yeah, you know the guy that had the Jurassic Park
nurse.
T-shirt.
Yeah,
on.
sure, I know what
it's
you mean,
that
yeah.
guy.
Okay,
kind of
alright.
looks similar to him.
Yeah. I thought
Yeah,
he,
I thought.
he like balanced out Madani really well at the start because she was just like fucking annoying.
Yeah, well, the thing is, he came in. He was like, "Yeah, I know they don't like you." She's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Because I'm your partner.
Yeah.
like no one likes me. Like
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
a piece of shit here."
Yeah. I have to say, I thought he was. I actually thought he was one of the weakest characters.
He
felt like he felt like a Mary Sue in the fact that he was just there, just
for a
to
tiny
die.
piece of like comedic effect as
Well,
well, though, because he was kind of
yeah.
a little bit snappy.
But then
Yeah.
he was there. He just felt like he was there just to die. So then Madani would then go crazy.
Yeah.
I honestly
I
didn't
don't
expect
know.
him to die.
No, I wasn't thinking that.
I didn't expect him to die. I thought if he was going to do it, he was going to be saving Madani or something
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be the case that he was chasing
thought
after someone. And
I
then-
thought it was gearing up for him to be like her love interest or something at some point. But then he died, and I was like, "Oh, okay, shit. No, that's not happening then."
yeah. Well, probably not now.
No, not anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought his character was pretty good. In terms of that stuff early on, he didn't really develop much past that, but he always provided sort of like relief.
He was
Yeah.
good in every scene.
Yeah,
and when they
sure.
found the bug as well, that was quite cool.
That was a
Yeah.
good scene, yeah. When
Yeah.
they staged that conversation they
Yeah.
had.
And then like he like really poked at her to make him leave as well.
Yeah.
To make it seem like it was an actual conversation.
Yes. Yeah, that's
rather
it.
than just
Yeah.
going, "Oh, okay, we've spoken about that now. I'll
Yes.
see you in a bit."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, you could tell that bit was obviously like he was just making that up, which is just a sign of good acting as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
they're fake acting in a show, and then he just improvises. He improvises fake acting improvising, and it's just really good. Like
Different
it was,
levels.
yeah, it was.
I was really expecting him when he was dying, and when obviously she was like trying to keep him alive a little bit. I was really expecting him to say something about like the pretty boy did it or something like that.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He was just choking.
Yeah, that's it.
gonna
But I
say
thought that was
Russo
good
or something.
again. Like the show messed
bits
with
you
your
expect,
expectations.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, and that's what I liked, because I was expecting him to, you know, go Russo or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, he just dies. And then obviously the beginning of the
Draw a
next
picture
episode,
of an anvil and blood on the floor or something.
But then obviously the beginning of the next episode is Russo bathing and soothing.
That was
I mean, it was like, so Georgie was
there's
just...
psychopaths and then there's Russo.
That's it.
Yeah.
Every time we watch it, every time Russo came on, like Georgie at that point was effectively booing the hero. Like, I fucking hate you. Come on, just admit that you did this. He was a real villain, a real villain.
That was like a psychological villain rather than just like
that's it.
Some guy going out to do stuff.
It just makes him just being absolutely fucked at the end.
Yeah, when he was like every time you look at your fucked up face, you're gonna know that I beat you.
Yeah.
And he's got a fucked up face as well.
The scraping down the scraping down the mirror was bad enough, but then at the end where he just smashes him and he just comes.
I really wanted him
to
kick him in the back of the head, so he went proper face first into it. But he brutalized him.
Yeah, that was tough.
Great scene. Great scene.
But yeah, I honestly think, despite the fact that there was like 4 or 5 episodes that were pretty slow.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's probably one of the stronger Marvel shows on Netflix.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because I'm biased towards the Punisher, but I honestly think it was probably better than maybe most of Daredevil. I really enjoyed some of Daredevil, but I think it did fall short in some parts.
I think for me,
I put it up there with Jessica Jones. Personally.
Well, yeah, I still think Jessica Jones is actually probably the best one out of all of them. For me, I don't think it was as strong, but that's because for me it wasn't a superhero show.
Yeah.
It was a psychological thriller, which is absolutely fine. But for me, I came into it thinking I want to see a Marvel TV show, and instead I got a psychological thriller based on a Marvel character, which is, again, absolutely fine. I've got no issue or problem with that. It just didn't hit those spots that I was hoping for. Didn't tickle me in the right place at the back of my head that I wanted for a
just
superhero
like a Marvel
show.
Tattoo.
Yeah, basically, that's it. Yeah, but as I say, I don't think it was bad. It was, as you say, it was a bit slow in places, but certainly not as slow as, you know, some of the series, like bits of Luke Cage.
The entire Iron Fist.
Well, I see, I actually quite enjoyed Iron Fist, but, you know...
Dude, I still haven't finished watching it.
No, you and everybody else. I think, in fact, I'm probably the only person that enjoyed that show.
Yeah. But, I mean, the acting, just in comparison to Iron Fist, for example, or Luke Cage, or, you know, some of the characters in Luke Cage were incredible. But I honestly think it was almost on another level.
No, I agree with that.
Different.
Sure. I think the weakest was actually, funnily enough, I think was actually Madani, and only because I don't think her character had just not as much development or as opportunities as the other characters.
Yeah, no, I'd probably agree with that. Yeah.
And that was still at a really high level. So in terms of writing and acting, and, you know, the story was pretty predictable, but at the same time I thought it told a good arc. So
yeah, I mean, I would agree that the overall arc was kind of predictable, but they didn't go about it in the normal way.
No, absolutely, yeah. So. No, it was good. Final thoughts.
I also you know the scene where Micro and Punisher are meeting up with Anvil. And obviously they've got the gas tanks taped to his wife and his son's back.
Yeah.
And obviously they're walking away. I called it to Jess. I was like, he's not dead.
No.
They shot in the back.
Because there was, as soon as he got shot, I was like, you're kidding. You're actually kidding. And then as soon as I thought about it, I was like,
who's going to hack it now?
There's no way that they would have done that. I mean, if they had, then holy crap. But yeah, no, it was too obvious that it wasn't.
Exactly.
It was also some of the best hacking I've seen in TV programs.
Was it? I don't know.
No, it was just in the way that he types on a keyboard.
Oh, the way that he types, for sure.
Because it looks like he actually does a lot of typing, and it's like because he uses his little finger.
Yes,
and that's something that only people that type a lot actually do.
But what came up? But what came up on the screen, wasn't.
Oh yeah,
it was just code, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's still not the best. The hacking is Mr. Robot. Without it, because it's
I just meant it in the
stuff,
sense that he knew what he was doing, rather than just rolling out a flimsy keyboard and then without even connecting it, just typing. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm almost in. I'm in.
I'm in." What does that even mean anymore?
This is a little,
just 5 more seconds, or like hold them off for a minute while I finish typing this really long word out so I can hit enter.
This is like a little prelude for next week.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So there you go. So any final thoughts that you
How
want
many
to add?
headshots out of 10?
Sure. Okay. Headshots out of 10. I would give it. Well, that's hard. If it was a normal, if it was just a show, if it was Netflix had gone,
Here's a show,
I'd probably have given it probably an 8.5 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's a Marvel show set in the Netflix cinematic universe, I'm probably going to have to give it a 7.
Okay.
Just for that reason alone, I think.
7 headshots. I'm going to give it a 7 headshots and 1 body shot.
Okay.
I was going to go with
And a
8
half.
headshots and an eye gouge.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Still-
So, I mean, it's above average without a shadow of a doubt.
for sure.
You know, and probably definitely, well, for me, the second or third best Netflix Marvel show for
Yeah,
sure.
I honestly think the third. That's what I was trying to say.
Third.
The
Third.
third
But
of
yes.
the series is probably the strongest part of it,
The
and
final third.
it definitely saved the few episodes that were a little bit slower.
But this is the thing. If they'd gone, let's make 8 episodes.
Everyone says it every single time a Marvel show comes out on Netflix. They're like, if only that was like 8 episodes long, that would have been incredible.
You could have done 1, 2, and then the final, like, I don't know, maybe even 6 episodes, and it would have been really good. Make them an hour long. Would have been
6
perfect.
episodes would have been too short.
Well, no, okay, sure, but the final
Definitely
4
10
episodes.
10 should be the limit, I think,
Yeah.
unless it's significantly fleshed out. But then again, I enjoyed it, and you know, I would have probably asked for more episodes if it had been 10 episodes long.
I think.
Well,
yeah.
I'm
And
sure
I honestly think that because the acting was so much better, it definitely saved the fact that they were some slower episodes.
I'm sure there'll be a second series. So,
without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, there you go. That was Netflix The Punisher, available now, funnily enough, on Netflix, and we think it's quite good.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's pretty damn good.
there we go. So let's go on to what we've been watching, reading, playing, and all of that stuff. Anybody want to
reading playing?
watching,
I
reading?
watched Rogue
playing?
One again.
Rogue One.
Yeah.
So I watched The Force Awakens again.
Oh,
So I'm actually off the back of that. I'm going to watch Rogue One again because
Nice.
I didn't enjoy Rogue One the first time round. So
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I just didn't think it was very good. But then everybody has said it's really good.
I
so
thought
I
it
just
was
feel
really good.
like
I've only
I'm
seen it
missing
once,
something.
though.
But it's just a really good
the one.
standalone story. I mean,
Yeah.
even if you're not like a massive, you don't have to be a massive Star Wars fan to understand all the little bits of information in it. It's just a good standalone story.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think if it had come out not being a Star Wars movie and it was just a movie,
Yeah, okay.
and if you just exchange some of the characters slightly, but had everyone with the same motivations, everyone would have loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I saw it in the cinema. I saw it, and I just did not think. If I'd seen it at home, I would have turned it off. That's that type
Really?
of film. Yeah, I really did not enjoy it.
What I expected
But-
it to be going into it was different, and it wasn't what I wanted it to be, but it was still really
Well,
enjoyable.
see, this is the thing. I wonder if that's why I didn't enjoy
I think
it.
that's the main thing
Yeah.
when you don't like things, is your expectations getting away.
Yeah, it's all
There
right.
seems to be a theme here.
Well, definitely with the Punisher and with this, but
Yeah.
but I know I thought it was a disjointed film. I didn't like the whole bit with the resistance fighter. I can't remember the actor's name now at the beginning. When
Which one?
The what's his name? The guy with the mask and the one leg and the
Oh, okay, yeah,
Forrest Whitaker.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, I just didn't understand that.
Yeah, he was a
his
shit.
whole-
That was probably the worst
That
part
wasn't
about
like
it.
all
yeah.
of that is just didn't make
The fact
sense.
that he
and
spent his entire life fighting, and now he's like,
I'm just gonna
Gonna die now.
But it didn't seem like he was worn out. Like obviously you could tell that he was like physically
yeah.
broken, but it didn't seem like he had like fought his last fight as
Yeah.
such.
I think
So there's
Forrest Whitaker made it a decent deal in that film. It's like, hey, come on, do like 5 minutes and then you get paid. That's great,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but I want to give it another try. So yeah,
Yeah, it's on Now TV. Oh, you don't have Now TV,
no,
do you?
I don't know. Well,
What
that's
else did I watch?
I might do.
I started watching The Intern as well.
The Intern.
Yeah, it's
Intern?
Is that a Will Ferrell movie?
no.
No,
That's the Interns.
Owen
Wilson, isn't it?
and
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
At Google,
Oh,
isn't
Vince
it?
Vaughn. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, The Intern is fucking Robert De Niro. He's like an OAP, and he's bored because his wife passed away like 3 years ago. It's really quite interesting in the way that it is. It basically he takes like an internship in like almost like a startup.
Is it a comedy?
No, it's not. It's not a comedy. It's more of like a drama.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, it's like he's really good in it, and he plays a really good character in it. It's quite interesting. I haven't finished watching it yet because I had to leave work early, so I couldn't finish watching the movie.
Makes perfect sense. Obviously,
but I watched Two Towers when I was at work as well. So
did you?
Well, the Lord of the Rings Two Towers. No,
yeah, I watched. I was talking about Nerdwriter.
Yes.
Yeah, I watched a YouTube video of him talking about the fucking whatchamacallit, the battle of the actual
Helm's Deep.
Helm's Deep. Yeah, I wanted to say something else. Yeah, I watched a video on that, and I was like, yeah, I kind of want to watch that now.
Yeah, sure.
So I was like, I'm just going to start watching it when I'm at work.
Well, all this talk of I've picked up Shadow of War. I picked it up in a sale, and it was like 19.99 or something. So I'm like £20 for a £50 game. Okay, Black Friday deal. And I've been listening to reviews of that and talking about like the new Amazon show and stuff. And I've got an itching to watch that trilogy again.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, I might have to do it. So
it's been too long.
It's all on Amazon Prime.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
the extended ones.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I don't know if all of
that's
them...
the only ones to watch.
That
the extended
literally
ones.
is the only way to watch.
That should just be called the originals.
Yeah. Well, they pretty much are now.
Yeah.
Like
I'm pretty sure all three of them are because I watched because I know the extended Fellowship is on there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I watched the extended Two Towers.
Yeah.
But I didn't search for
because they're quite good because the way that they break them down is you can watch them in like hour chunks. They're almost episodic.
Have you ever tried to watch all of them extended back to back?
I have done it.
It's fucking. It's a bit much.
When the final one came out, me and 3 mates got round my house. TV, popcorn that ran out after like an hour.
Literally.
And I remember at the very end of it, we were just like.
It's like you're like literally like Frodo at the end, like it's over.
It is, yeah.
Jess and I did that a few years, like a year or so back as well.
That's an entire day of your life.
There's a cinema in South Bank in London that's showing Game of Thrones back to back over 4 days.
Shit.
Jesus.
Yeah. Every episode, and it's free as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's part of a festival or something. But yeah,
okay.
If you can stomach that much, then,
can you imagine?
That's a perfect way for you to get caught up.
Yeah, you should. Yeah,
you should go
take
to
some time
ready for the next series.
Yeah.
Just gonna live in South Bank for a bit.
So, what you been up to? Anything this week? Watching?
I've been getting back into Persona 5 a bit.
Okay, now so I watched an award show on YouTube. It's that time of the year, and that was one of their best games of the year.
Yeah,
but it's real life. And it's real life in real time.
No.
So.
There's like a calendar, like you have days to do stuff in.
Yeah, but if you miss that, then it's not. I mean, like if you like, so the way that he was describing it, it's like you've got a DVD and you've got to take the DVD back to the store, and you get on the train, and if you get to the DVD store and it's closed, you've missed it, and then you get fined by the DVD place.
There's it's not quite.
This is a computer game we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm really confused.
I mean, you hire a DVD, and they say, "Oh yeah, there you go. You've got till this date to bring it back to us."
Right.
And there's like 3 times of day, like morning, after school, and evening.
Yeah.
And in the evening, the shop's going to be closed, so you've got to like really budget your time, and then you can like.
But what is it? I mean, it's
like half of it is that stuff. It's like a real world.
Is it just a life simulator?
Is it like
it's kind of like that, but the other half of it is a dungeon crawler, turn-based combat, and you've got to like go into as I tried to explain before. It's fucking weird. You go into a person's. It's like a separate dimension where people's cognition is, and you kind of like if you unlock their treasure, you change their heart in the real world, sort of thing. So
right. Okay.
Half of it is in the real world. You're a school kid going to school, doing this stuff, like having relationships with other people and your other students and these other people that basically unlock better capabilities for the dungeon crawling sections of it, where you've got the turn-based combat and all this stuff. It's as the series has been. The combat is pretty brutal.
Okay.
You can pretty much get finished in one turn by some of the harder.
So I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about this, and apparently if you that it can be like that, but if you do literally everything.
Yeah,
and fight everything. When you reach those points, you can actually just breeze through it. Yeah. But it means
if you put in enough preparation and you research and you look at all this stuff, like you can really like nail down some enemies. But Like, I had an enemy, like, there's this Egyptian-themed, like, dungeon, for example, and there was, like, this one Anubis enemy. I didn't know the weakness, and this thing just kept fucking me every time I had to do it. So I was like, fuck
Can
this,
you just, like,
going
throw
out.
a stick and it'll chase it?
Throw a stick, yeah, I mean, he's god of the underworld, so he's not really akin to those so much. Or throw a bone, maybe.
Yeah, there we go.
Isn't it? It's a
Just
cat
bring a
rather
pig's
than
ear.
a dog, isn't it?
No, it's
No,
a dog.
it's a jackal.
A jackal,
Oh,
that's it, yeah.
It's a wild dog.
But yeah, this guy kept fucking me over, so I came out of the dungeon, made some adjustments to all my stats and my party and all this stuff, and went back and fucked him over every time I found him. So
Nice.
it rewards you quite nicely in that
Yeah,
way.
and apparently it's like a 100-hour game as well.
Yeah,
so
I'm
it's-
about 40 hours in.
Are you playing this on the Switch?
PS4.
Oh, okay.
It's
all
on
right.
the PS3 as well because it was.
Is it on the
development.
Switch?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the way that they were talking. It was
Shin
like,
Megami Tensei, which is kind of the same series and company, is bringing out one on the Switch. But yeah.
right. Okay.
But apart from that, I invested in Wolfenstein 2, which was on a
Oh,
man.
Black Friday deal for
Yeah.
I
£20.
wish I could play that game.
It's I really wanted to play the first one and then get into this one because
Yeah.
I've heard good stuff about the story.
Yeah, I'm still halfway through the first one. I have to say,
but I just watched the entire first game on YouTube.
Oh, well, that's fine. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a good, decent story. I'm itching to sort of get into
Nazis
this
in
one.
America.
Nazis in America.
Yeah. Did you see the censored version for Germany?
Oh, yeah, because they're not allowed to show swastikas.
Yeah.
and
So
everything,
and also Hitler doesn't have a moustache.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
In it as well. Yeah.
And they don't call him They don't
They
call him.
don't
Führer.
call him Mein Führer. They call him.
It's like my leader or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So they just. I mean, it makes sense. Obviously. I mean,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Well, it's illegal over there.
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
it.
Yeah.
Obviously, well, technically, it's not really illegal
I think well the
everywhere,
box
is it? But
that I picked up as well, like it didn't have a swastika on the actual box art, where there was like Nazi flags with
Yes.
the red with the white circle, and then there would be
Yeah.
a swastika. There was like a black W, and I was like, is this what this is going to be? I don't
Yeah.
know. I just want swastikas,
Talking about obviously I watch well you watch The Flash
yeah.
so I mean I watch The Flash,
yep.
Arrow, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow, which is the DC TV shows, which I'm enjoying this series. They're very
Captain
good.
Cold.
Yeah, Captain Cold. But next week is the 2-night. Although for some reason they're advertising it as 2-night. Yet on all the TV guides, they've all got a 4-night, so it's interesting. A crossover event, and they do these every year where they bring all the superheroes together. I'll show you the trailer for it after this. But it's from Nazis invade from Earth X, and there's a Nazi Supergirl, a Nazi Arrow, Reverse Flash is working, and it looks amazing, looks really good.
That sounds cool.
And this is like on primetime American TV show. They just got like Nazi banners everywhere, and I'm just like,
Jesus.
yeah, I'm like, they've just gone all out with
Yeah,
this.
right.
Like they're not even
Yeah.
kidding around. But
It's like the one
yeah.
thing these days that people are still touchy about, sort of going all the way on, but well, apparently not anymore.
Well, I think it
That's really
depends-
odd for a CW show as well.
Well, that's what I mean. They've just gone all out on it.
CW stands for children's
and,
watching.
well, I mean, I'll talk about it next week once I've seen it. But
it doesn't
yeah.
really.
I've no, it doesn't. What I've been doing. I watched Star Wars, obviously. I watched. Obviously, I'm up to date with The Walking Dead, and we haven't spoken about Walking Dead
haven't.
yet this series. But there was
my God.
they had the best episode.
Even though
yet.
we did a whole episode.
We did, yeah.
To warm up.
That's
for
it, yeah. But they've had the best episode yet. I think this was this week. Have you up to date?
Yeah,
Have you
I'm
watched
up to
it?
date,
Yeah, very very good. Nice story, nice plot. This series hasn't been as bad as the
The
other
thing is,
ones.
it's been one of the
hasn't-
stronger,
Yeah.
continuing, series.
something's happening every week.
but it's also
which is
got the
good.
lowest viewerships in season
Yeah, well, that's
2.
because people have just given up on it, and that's a
Yeah.
real shame. But you know,
But the thing is, they understood. It's almost kind of like they've acknowledged that every series has been like a peak for the first episode, a peak for the season break, first and closing and opening, and then a peak for the end episode. And in this series, they've kind of gone like, "All right, yeah, no, we're going to get action in every single episode."
Yeah.
which is what they've done, and
it's just
and people are like,
too little, too late.
I'm not interested. Now.
Yeah,
But I think
it's
it'll
a
stick
shame.
around for a while.
Well,
I think when people start realizing that maybe it might just be because of this season and what's happening in it, but they'll probably the word might kind of get out.
But you see,
to an
I've been
extent.
telling this to people. I've been saying, look, no, watch it. It's really good. And they've been going, no, I'm done with it. And I'm like, no, watch it. And they're like, no, I'm done. And I'm like, okay,
what season is it though? Like,
this is season 8.
that's not really that far along, but
But as I keep saying, as I said when we did our Walking Dead episode, and this is what I always talk about, people, is I'm committed now. after
You went
8
for the long
years
haul.
of my life, or 7.5 years, or whatever, I can't stop watching it now. I just can't, because I need to know what happens to
Yeah.
these characters.
Oh,
But there's
You
not
know,
going to
I
be a
just-
definitive end, though. If it ends, it's just going to be at the end of it.
But that's the thing, though. I'm interested to see how they finish it. I have to watch that out now. I have to see what the final episode of The Walking Dead is going to be.
But the thing is, they can't kill anyone off because the comic book's still continuing.
This is
and that's
what I mean.
not going to stop
and
anytime
the
soon.
and the ABC executive, I mentioned this in the news a couple of weeks ago.
Is
He
that-
wants it to
yeah.
be a 50-year franchise. So, are they ever? I mean, the characters are going to leave. I want to know. All I want to know is I want to see the end of Rick's story. That's what I want to know. I want to see what happens to his character, Andrew Lincoln's character. I just want to know: are they going to kill him? Is he going to live happily ever after with his family and whatever? I just want to know what happens. And then after that, then I'll probably be done. I don't, because I haven't got into Fear the Walking Dead.
I still haven't watched all of season 2
No,
yet,
you see,
so.
I can't get back. I can't get into that because it's just more of the same. So I don't know. Anyway,
Which is
The
weird
execs-
because some of the characters are significantly different to the normal Walking Dead, and some
It's
of the
not-
characters are really good as well.
it's
Like
not
Nick,
the
one of the main
characters.
characters.
It's the
See, that's what
the
draws
way
me
that
in
the
as well,
show
though.
is the way that the show is made, and I don't know. Anyway, the other thing I watched, I went to cinema. I went to see Murder on the Orient Express, or
The Orient Express,
the Orient
the murder
Express,
of.
Murder on, yeah, which I was really really good, nice period piece, and it was interesting because I don't go to the cinema that often to see something that isn't a big sci-fi or superhero film.
Yeah.
Like I see the big releases, and it was just really interesting to see, something that isn't all out action, that isn't like people, shooting people or
Yeah.
aliens or whatever.
I like going to the cinema to see films.
Yeah, that's what
That's
it. Yeah,
really like a decent
and it was,
investment.
and
I
it was
find.
like watching a play. That's what it felt like, and it was so well acted, and it looked incredible. It looked really rich, and because a lot of my exposure to period pieces like that is BBC dramas on the small screen.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really seen a big screen period piece, and it just looked so good, and just the costumes and the props and the guy's beard, as I said, was just
Yeah.
looked epic. And
Is that going to be in
Yeah.
the discussion for an Oscar for that sort of stuff? Set design, costume.
possibly.
I can't think of
I
much
think he
else
should.
that's-
I think he should. Kenneth Branagh should definitely get a nomination for. I mean, I say that. I mean, there's probably plenty of other pieces, but I think he's an incredible actor, and he played Hercule Poirot very, very, very well. Like, I thought it was just. I mean, I think every time because the thing is, he's a good director, and every time I see him act in stuff, I forget how good an actor he is. Like because I watched a lot of him doing Shakespeare years ago when I was doing it for school, and he's incredible. He makes Shakespeare, when you're watching it, not sound like Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And I just forget how good he is. And when I see him in that, I'm like, oh my gosh, you are this character. It's just. I just like good acting, like really good, not TV good acting, like proper film good acting, like forget you're in the cinema for 2 hours.
Exactly. That's why I liked going to see those films in the
Yeah,
cinema. Like that's
yeah.
when I saw Fences. Like that was just such a good experience.
I bet it was. Yeah, that's it. It's like going to see a play, isn't it? You just it's real. It's
like going to the theatre.
I don't know. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. Anyway. There we go. Unless anyone else has anything else to add.
Oh, I do want to watch I think I'm going to watch something tonight. I've seen on Netflix.
Go
on. Called Jim and Andy.
Jim and Andy.
Oh, is that
Have you seen
the
this?
Jim Carrey when he
Played-
talks about
Andy
when he played
someone.
Andy?
Yeah, when he played Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to watch that, but I've never seen Man on the Moon, so
Neither
I
have
want
I.
to watch
Exactly
that
the same
first.
with me, yeah.
And I was going to watch it, and then I realised it's not on Netflix.
Oh.
I'm like, great,
That
okay.
would have been prime opportunity for him to put it on there.
Wouldn't it?
So-
You
Yeah,
missed
they were
the
like,
beat there,
watch this.
David.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll talk to him.
Have a word.
Yeah, but no, I'm going to watch Man on the Moon, and then I'm going to watch the documentary.
I've just seen this, and I'm just like,
because I want to watch it with the context of
the
him,
film.
because Andy Kaufman was his hero, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And
Whoa.
sorry, I've.
This is
Yep.
fun.
Did you just start watching something
No,
when we're
it's
trying to
the
have a
net- it's
I
the
don't know if
Netflix
you've
trailer.
noticed, but Netflix has started doing live
Dude, this is
trailers.
exactly how
yeah.
I saw Jim and Andy.
Yeah, when you load up Netflix, it now starts playing a trailer, which is great. But obviously that just
What's
happened.
this?
So
Frontier.
Frontier, yeah. This
Oh.
is Jason Momoa, isn't it? Second series has just started.
God,
Oh, okay.
blimey.
But anyway, next week,
Christmas episode.
I can't believe I'm about to say this.
Yeah. Jingle bells. Everyone loves
Because
the
it's
best
the
Christmas
3rd of
film.
December, we're going to be doing a Christmas episode.
We are.
Yeah,
And
the
what's
greatest
The greatest Christmas film.
Greatest Christmas film of all time.
Well, are we just doing it on the one film, or are we doing it on all 5 films?
Yeah, all 5.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
I don't know. I got excited about watching it, and then I realised that if we decide on watching all 5, I'm going to have to watch
This is Die Hard, by the way.
I'm gonna watch all 5 films. I'm gonna watch a film a night between now and then.
Yes.
Maybe 2 on Saturday. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. We're talking Die Hard, everybody.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We're talking Die Hard.
I think I've got them all on DVD, apart from
I might have to do some renting off Amazon.
The High Courtney one.
But yeah, we're talking about Die Hard, as you say, quite possibly the greatest Christmas.
Quite possibly. Did you just say quite possibly?
Yeah, well, I think
it is 100%.
The original Santa Claus film is pretty goddamn good.
The best Christmas movie of all time.
Okay, well, we'll argue that point
I had an
next
argument
week.
with someone about that once, and I went, it's in every single top 10. It's always in there.
It is. Yeah,
and they went, no, it's not. And I went, I bet it's higher than the movie that you think of. And they said, like, it's one of the Christmas Miracle or some shit like that.
Oh, Miracle on 34th Street. Or
something like that. But Die Hard was higher than that on 5 of the different sites we looked at.
Was it a Christmas film list?
Well, look, let's
it was a top 10 Christmas movies.
Let's save that for next week.
Oh, okay. All right.
Itching.
I know you are, but we'll save it for next week. Also, in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be doing, obviously we're doing a Star Wars episode, so look out for that, and possibly the final episode that David is in as well, which will be in a couple of weeks' time.
The final?
Well, for a while anyway, because you're not going to be connected. So,
and I'm going to be in a different time zone.
That's it, and possibly the final one for this year anyway. We'll probably take a little hiatus, I think, over Christmas and New Year. We're going to do our end of year award shows. So if you're listening to this and you have a film or you want to make a particular nomination for anything really, best game, worst game, best film, worst film, TV show, whatever it may be, actor, actress, script, anything like that, worst green screen, CGI, anything you could possibly think of.
I don't want to spoil any of my categories I've thought of. But
no.
Part here.
But let us know.
Leave them as a comment.
Yeah, let us know in the comments below, and we will definitely mention them, and because we've got to put together lists and stuff. So any ideas you've got, let us know. And conveniently, you can also let us know on our Facebook page, just facebook.com/The Geekstation. Mm-hmm. You could also tweet at us. The main feed is mine, which is at Mr. Sinn. Guys, where can they tweet at you?
You can find me at MartoTGS.
And you can find me, Martin, at DavidTGS.
Okay, now I'm just super confused, but sure, yeah, Marto at Marto TGS. Nothing.
Should we do that? Should we swap Twitters for a week?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do you guys anyway?
To see how much we can ruin each other's lives.
If you're
tweet like some high execs.
If you're listening to this on iTunes, then please don't forget to give us a review. Any review, whether it be 1 or 5 stars, will be sung by Martin. I'm still waiting.
You can choose what genre of music is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Martin will sing it.
As long as the review is the lyrics to any given song, then that'd be very helpful.
Well, obviously,
I think your missus just got home.
I think she did. Yeah, that was the door closing.
Someone broke in.
That sounded like the crack of a whip, Sin.
Yeah. It was not the crack. What? Shut up.
He's got his lashings from last week to go for it.
And
they're actually covering up his tattoos quite nicely. So
anyway, and if you're listening to this on YouTube, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Check out the other videos on the channel. The only thing to say is it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from Sin.
It's goodbye from Sin.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very fucking much. What?
Jesus Christ! What is wrong with? Why can he not say goodbye proproperly?
We'll
just cut it off here. It's just a hard stop.
Yeah,
too painful.
Just
David.
Goodbye. Jesus.
What happened there?
I tried to say fuck in the ending, but yeah, no.
Oh, what, like you always do when you end?
The fuck, yeah, but thank you fucking much.
Jesus Christ.